you seen the change to the usage fees? Because years back, I mean, you used to get a lot of money for commercials, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it almost feels like there's much more non-equity work coming out, and the usage fees seem to be going down and down. Or maybe they can, there's obviously ways of getting around that with non-speaking or not featured.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I mean, I think that there's probably a broad truth to that, but I think that probably stems from taking 30 years ago as a starting point, and that gives you a real arc on the graph. I'm not sure in the time that we've been doing it, it's been that noticeable or that dramatic. There's a really wide range, and ultimately it's very difficult when you start talking about fees, because actors will have different opinions, agents will have different opinions as well, and ultimately we present a job and an agent will or won't suggest on it, and there are degrees within that. But I don't know that it's necessarily the case that things are always done for less or always done cheaper.
It's worth saying, I think, also that people often talk about fees going down, and the fact that perhaps maybe if you go back to the 80s or 90s, you could make a living from commercials. The industry is a wildly different place to what it was then. I mean, nobody now
3 or 4 TV channels.
Yeah, and a commercial that might be viewed during Coronation Street by 20 million people, and that A, doesn't happen now, and B, the industry is so diffuse that a commercial goes online. It might be on social media. It might just be those. I mean, there's certainly an argument that the way in which commercials air on the internet ultimately needs to be pinned down, and the fees relating to that need to be refined and worked on. That is something that I know Equity are working on. It's not an easy process, but that's a longer term perhaps ambition for people. At the moment, it's a little rudimentary how the internet is termed and the fee that relates to something being aired on the internet.
I rather suspect that overall there are more actors benefiting from there being more work.
Tons more work.
And I think that is probably, at worst, it's offering a balance. And I wonder if it's even a beneficial thing overall.
And it's worth saying, and this is how we talk about the industry for commercials here in London, or the marketplace for commercials here in London towards actors, is that it's a sliding scale. So you perhaps and your agent will discuss or decide upon what is your base level for being submitted on a project. And so it's a sort of self-organising marketplace, that the higher the fee, the sort of general more choice you have of actor on a project, and perhaps certain agents will only suggest on higher fees, some are happy to take a kind of mid-level fee, and some are happy to take a lower fee. And so often when we're looking at projects and we're talking to production companies or ad agencies about budgets, it'll be our advice will be based upon, well, you need a lot of choice here. You need to be able to look at a wide range of actors. We need a lot of choice to be able to definitely bring in good actors for this particular project. So you need to pay more money. And there's a certain sometimes, like you say, there'll be non-speaking roles, things like that, where they'll decide they want to pay a lower fee because they don't need as much choice as they might have done otherwise. So those decisions do get made, and the market is shaped around that at the moment, I think.
It's rare that we have, too direct an influence on that. We're not setting budgets, no. We're constantly advising on them, upwards or downwards. We'll try and get the best deal possible for people, certainly a fair one, but that's about presenting something that gets choice, that gets a good level of performer, and also services the budget of the people that we're working for at the same time.
Yeah, I think as an actor, if anyone has concerns about that type of thing, that's always a conversation to perhaps have with your agent about what level are we pitching it at, and how can we make sure that I'm not being put up for things that I feel uncomfortable with the fee or something like that, perhaps.
Carry on watching at actors-anonymous.com.